Hello there, and thank you for joining my webinar. My name is Tracy Woods, and I am the CEO of Landlord Smart, my business that I'm going to be talking to you about this evening, because I want to share with you how you can actually furnish your rental properties, so your HMOs, your serviced accommodations, without actually using any of your own money. So let's get started. And I'll share my screen with you. So one of the biggest things that we have as property people when we're looking to furnish properties is that bit happens at the end of the project. So actually, we have normally run out of money, or we've used a lot of our money by that time. So we are then looking at doing things in the quickest and the cheapest way possible. So let me tell you a little bit more about who I am and what I do. So I am a co-founder and CEO of Landlord Smart. I've got 20 plus years experience within the world of property myself. So I have started out, as many do, many years ago in buy-to-lets. I then moved on to doing HMOs in 2013, 2014, and I took on some rent-to-rents, and also I've done some lease options. So you can tell that I've got quite a lot of property experience. And from creating property for myself, I then set up a hands-free portfolio building business for people who wanted to get into HMOs but didn't actually know how to do it. And that was between 2012 and 2016. I also run a business called HMOs in High Heels, which is helping other women get involved in HMO investments. I love speaking, so going around to property networking events and trade shows, etc. And I love helping people. And all of this experience and my own experiences had led me to the world of Landlord Smart when we launched it in 2016. And that was because I could see just how much money was needed to finish and furnish these properties to a really high standard so that we attracted the right tenants. And obviously within the world of serviced accommodation nowadays, which is such a big thing, it's really important to get those 5-star reviews, and therefore they need to be furnished really, really well. So when you are looking at furniture for your project, what is most important to you? So I would like you to write down what is most important to you. And it will be, I'm sure, from you answering this question, it will be the look, it will be the price, it may be the quality of the furniture. So they will be the main things that you're going to be thinking about when you're looking to furnish your rental accommodation. Well, what if I could show you how to achieve the standard and the quality you want, so the look that you want, but without having to worry about the money? We're very often driven by the cost of everything, and actually that cost can sometimes mean that we don't quite get the quality and standard that we want because we're trying to do it as cheaply as possible. I want to show you how you can keep your capital to invest in more. You know, we're all property people and we're investing in bricks and mortar because we know that we're going to get a great return. But actually, everything we put into that property is not necessarily going to give us the returns that we should be getting from our money. So if you can use that capital to invest in more that gives you better returns, that would be a good thing. Maintaining a healthy cash flow, knowing your outgoings. We all know it's crucial within the world of property to understand what comes in and what goes out. And actually, the more that we can move to becoming expenses to our business before we then have to pay tax on our profits, the better. So being tax efficient within your business, I'm going to show you a great way of shifting that cost from being a capital outlay, so you parting with your cash, to becoming a really tax efficient way of doing it within your business. So the Landlord Smart mission is to help landlords grow their property business in the quickest and most tax efficient way, and using your capital to invest in more. That's always been my aim since I launched the business. And now we have helped hundreds and hundreds of people to retain their capital, invest in more, and use our service rather than their own money. So there is this fantastic saying, if it appreciates, buy it. If it depreciates, lease it. Well, if it appreciates, that's property, right? Yeah, it goes through ups and downs, all property does, but actually it appreciates over time. So we buy it. Everything that goes into that property actually depreciates in value, so we lease it. Now, most of you, when you hear about leasing, will automatically think of cars. And yes, we would lease a car. And why do people lease cars? Because they want to drive a new car, be able to change it every few years without having to part with a lot of capital up front. And actually, if you do leasing cars well, then you've always got something that's going to be paying for that lease for you. You can see here that we have helped our customers keep over £2.1 million in their pockets. So that's money that would have been spent on furniture by our customers, but instead it stayed in their business for them to invest in more. So before you have attended this webinar, you may never heard of Landlord Smart or lease finance for furnishing of rental properties. It's been our aim over the last few years to educate the landlord and businesses out there that there is a better way to do it. So before you heard of us, what you would do is you would go and you would find all the items that you want to put into your property. And that might include furniture, soft furnishings as well. And you would pay for them out of your own pocket. So not only have you used all that time sourcing things and probably looking for the cheapest items you can at the time, but you have also spent that money out of your pocket and your business. So it goes down as a capital expenditure within your business and the accountants that will sort out your books, if you like. When you use Landlord Smart, you still get choice. So we have, as a business, partnered with many of the trade suppliers in the furniture business, including white goods and electricals and other items as well. And they provide you with a fantastic service that gives you choice. And the reason that we partner with all these suppliers is we appreciate that not every one of you will want to make your property look the same. You always want to have a choice and be able to pick certain items that make your property look the way that you want rather than what you can afford. And the benefit of using Landlord Smart service is that Landlord Smart Finance will actually pay for those goods for you. So it's not a capital cost to you. It doesn't come out of your pocket right straight away as soon as you are providing the furniture. So you can see here we're using an example of £6,000, and I will go into some figures with you very shortly. So what do you do? I like to find out who you are and what you do in property. Now, although we've got here an online poll, I would love you to contact me personally. You've had an email from me now, and I would love you to contact me and let me know what you do in property. And we would like to be able to help you in the future. So let me show you some examples of customers that we've worked with and how we have benefited them. So this is a customer from going back a few years now, and they heard of Landlord Smart, and they were looking at that moment in time to furnish their project. Now, this was a pub conversion. It was on 3 floors, and on each floor there were rooms that they put en suites into, and there was a shared kitchen on each floor. So 3 kitchens, 17 bedrooms, and they were about to spend £13,000 on furniture. We then got talking to them and realised that they had actually already spent a lot of money that we could probably get back for them too. So this was things like the kitchens, the sanitary ware, the fire doors, smoke alarm systems, all the things that they had to put in. And in fact, it turned out that we could reimburse them £16,000 for purchases they'd already made in their project. So you can imagine getting £29,000 plus VAT back into their business enabled them to move on to the next project far, far quicker. Another great example here for you. This was a company that actually started a rent-to-rent serviced accommodation business. Now, normally those people doing rent-to-rent are generally the people that don't have a massive chunk of capital behind them. So knowing that they could actually take on a property, furnish it using Landlord Smart's finance and get it up and running, having the finish that they wanted rather than that they could afford, and keep doing that over and over, meant that they could grow their business really, really rapidly. Now you can see here in this testimonial that they have used us 3 times in the past few months. Again, this is quite a while ago. And in fact, these guys used us over 20 times to create a very quick growing business without using their own capital to do so. So how does Landlord Smart work? Well, we work with this range of suppliers, and it's your choice if you want to go to a supplier and get a quote first, or come to us and ask us for the supplier list that we have, and then you choose from them. But we will need a quote, so we need to know how much money you're looking to spend. We will want to talk to you about your project. It's really important for us to gauge who you are, what you're doing, what your plans are for your business, and how we can help you going forward, and also help us to achieve the best rates we can in the market for the finance that you're going to be applying for. We take you through the application process. Once your application is approved, the goods are delivered and we pay your supplier directly. So let me take you through some figures. We've talked about the £6,000, so that was £5,000 plus VAT. Well, let's look at those figures here in detail. So a purchase value, £5,000, excluding VAT. The default term of a lease is 3 years, and the approximate monthly payments for a brand new company with no experience is £194 plus VAT. So if you work that out, the total repaid at the end of the 3 years would be £6,995, which is approximately £1,995 in interest that has been paid. Now, if I stopped here, I can assure you that most of you are thinking, this is very, very expensive. But this is where the beauty of using lease finance within your business really does help you. And it helps you because you can offset every monthly payment as a revenue expense to your business, which means that it goes out as an expense like your electric and gas costs for a HMO, like the things that you pay for within a serviced accommodation business, your cleaning bills, etc. So offsetting it means that you get corporation tax relief, currently at 19%. So therefore, the actual cost to you is only £666, which equates to 4.44%, which is very, very low. Now, we do have a calculator tool on our website. Please do go on there and you can plug in your numbers and it will give you this breakdown to show you just how cheap this actually is. Because paying £666, £222 a year to have access to £5,000 worth of furniture, it's a really good way of doing it for you. So what do Landlord Smart do for you? Well, yes, you can get lease finance for lots of things in this world now. It's becoming more and more used within the business setup and particularly the commercial sector. But within the world of property, it's really important that you have somebody like us who can use our own expertise and our own experiences to help you to find the right funding. We can ask you the right questions by screening you and finding out as much information as we possibly can to help make that choice as well. We have a team at Landlord Smart, so it's not just me. We have a team that will support you with your application process. We will share with you exactly what you need to do and make sure that things are moving along as quickly as possible. And more importantly, We also are there to help you from the tax perspective, and that will become a little bit clearer in a moment. So what happens in 3 years' time? This is always a question we get asked. So during the 3 years of your lease, you don't actually own the items that you have leased. They belong to the funder who funded them. So at the end of the 3 years, it's important for you to be able to take ownership, right? So you don't have to continue paying for those lease or rental payments. So what we do is we stand in the middle between yourself and the funder. The funder can't pass title to you directly or ownership to you directly. And the reason for that is because it would mean that you wouldn't be able to offset every one of those monthly payments because you were deemed to be wanting to take ownership at the end. Whereas if it goes via a third party, i.e. Landlord Smart, then the chain is broken, the link is broken between you and the funder, and therefore you can rightly take ownership at that time. Now, the continued use of goods does cost a small fee, and that is 2 times your monthly rental or lease payment. So if your lease payment was £200, you would pay £400 as a one-off payment that covers the administration and transfer of title to you, and then you can do with it whatever you want. So you could replace the furniture, you can keep it for years 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however long you want to. If you wanted to replace it, then obviously disposal is at your own cost. And the idea is that you will come back to us when you want to replace it and take out another lease. So if you want access to unlimited furniture, a choice from a range of suppliers, and if you go on to Google and search Furnish my HMO, Furnish my serviced accommodation, all of the trade suppliers that you see on those screens will be people that we work with. We work with a lot of the major suppliers in the industry. If you want your tenants and customers to pay for it, because remember, the monthly payments are paid for from the rent that your tenant or your customers are paying. If you want a quick decision in principles come within 48 to 72 hours. So if you want to know very quickly if you can get this finance for your business, then get in contact with us. Do give us a call. There's no obligation. We will chat with you and it won't cost you anything. We want to help you to retain your capital and expand your property business quicker. And here is all of our contact information. So we've got a telephone number there, we've got our email, we've also got a website where you can find lots of information, answers to a lot of your questions, and also make contact with us directly. We're also on social media, so please do contact with us there, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. And thank you very much for listening. I do hope to hear from you in the future if we can help you furnish your rental property without spending any of your own money. Thank you very much. Speak soon.